Live from Fox Providence, this is The Rhode Show, the place for what's hot and happening. You're having fun, eating well, and living life on The Rhode Show.
This morning on The Rhode Show, from Runway to REALWAY, we're taking a look at this season's hot shoe trends, fresh off the catwalk.
Plus, a fundraiser for a local zoo, how you can travel to Africa without ever leaving the country.
And in the kitchen, we're cooking with Spumoni's, making Chicken Marsala. There's Nelson right there. Find today's recipe online right now at foxprovidence.com. Good morning and welcome to The Rhode Show. It is Monday. It is not Monday. It is Tuesday, September 6th. I'm Patrick Little.
And I'm Michaela Johnson. It is the Monday of the week, though.
Yeah.
You know, the first day back from the long weekend.
That's right. I almost said Monday a few times this morning on the news.
Did you?
It feels like a Monday, you know?
Yeah, you know, first day back.
It's raining. A lot of kids going back to school today.
It is. It is kind of gloomy.
People back to work. How was the weekend?
The weekend was great. Attended Style Week, the final show of Style Week, which was pretty great. Courtney and I were just talking about that.
That's right.
Actually. It was a lot of fun. There was a lot of great fashion and a lot of people in attendance. Of course, it being the grand finale show.
Sure, yeah.
Jonathan Joseph Peters was a designer.
He's a star. He's the star. Yeah.
Right. Was on our show. Was on Project Runway. Of course, I list the Rhode Show first.
Yeah, that's right.
Rhode Show star. Actually, I don't know if Courtney could pull up the picture from that right now. I think
there's a Rhode Show alum on the scene too.
A Rhode Show alum in
Elizabeth
attendance.
Hopkins?
There it is.
Where is
There
she?
we are.
Let's see,
We're all on the catwalk there. Elizabeth Hopkins is right. Yeah, the cursor's on her right now. So I think from
Lily right there.
left to right. Yeah, Audrey in that
McClellan,
picture as
Rebecca,
well.
our boss.
Courtney,
Rebecca, Courtney,
Ashley.
our boss. Ashley, our other boss. You're there, our other boss. All the bosses are there.
Yeah, I'm the boss apparently. But yeah, very exciting
Looks
weekend.
like fun. Didn't get the invite.
Heard you had a very exciting weekend.
We did. We had a great weekend. You know, kind of wrapping up the summer. One more trip down to the beach at Bonnet Shores. We did that. Did a little Dave and Buster's yesterday with my son and daughter and my son's friend Ethan.
Play some good games.
Thousands of tickets, stuffed animals galore. We walked out of there with.
There you go.
And on Saturday night we had a birthday party at our friend's house in Portsmouth. So a lot of good times there. And also early in the weekend we had a historic moment in the Little household. Cameron, who turned 7 months on Thursday, my wife caught him talking, sort of. Listen.
Dada. You say Dada?
Cammy, are you saying Dada? Can you say Dada? You say it. Say Dada.
Daddy?
I don't know if he was just babbling
he's
or
got it,
we think that
You say Dada?
we think it was Dada. So and he's like, get that camera out of my face.
It sounds like Dada. Oh my gosh. Yeah,
Still
I
doing
think
it,
that's
yeah.
it. I think he got it. Oh my. So cute with the little chubby cheeks and oh gosh.
So that was the highlight of the holiday weekend, was Cam saying Dada, and I actually posted that on Facebook, and I said, you know, it's just not fair that all the moms do all the work, and then the first thing the baby always says is Dada.
Dada,
You
yeah.
know, so
I think it's something with the M's. Maybe the M's
yeah, the
are
M's hard to say, but that was the highlight of the weekend for sure.
Yeah, definitely a highlight. That's exciting.
Yeah, kids are back to school today finally in our town, so looking forward to that. Real bad. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, first day for East Providence is tomorrow.
Yeah. Tomorrow, so another day.
Yeah, another day.
And Danielle's
So we'll
sending
see.
her kiddies off to school today, which is why she's home, being mother of the year, as she always is with her
She
three
is.
off to school. All right,
sure they're loving it.
exciting weekend. Time to get after it, though. The extended summer vacation that local students enjoy because of Irene's impact on southern New England is now over. Several schools across Rhode Island that delayed the start of school due to damage and power outages caused by the storm will kick off the 2011-2012 school year today. Among those scheduled to start today include Cranston, Coventry, Barrington, Bristol Warren, Central Falls, Warwick, and all those Providence schools that did not open last week will start up today. National Grid has restored power to all customers that lost it during the storm, and there are a few schools that were late cancellations / postponements today, and you can find those on our website. So still, you know, a couple of areas still trying to get back on track because of Irene.
It's a tough day to go back to school. You get so excited, and then you're hit with all the rain, and
Yes.
it's gloomy, and it's. But I feel like, you know, first day of school is kind of a wash, anyways. Pun
Literally,
intended.
yeah. Well, it's
no.
because you have all those back to school pictures, first day of school, you know, at the
Yeah.
bus stop, you see all your buddies that you haven't seen, you know, maybe for the summer, and, you know,
Yeah.
new friends that are on the bus.
And
all
most
that,
of the
so-
classes, here's what you need for this
Right.
course. We're going to kind of sum it up. We're not really going to jump into
No.
anything
Why
just
do that?
yet. But
But the weather messes up all those pictures and all those meet and greets and all
Yeah.
that stuff. It was
Bad
funny.
hair days and
Bad-
everything.
yeah. It's funny, yesterday we had the discussion about back-to-school outfits. My daughter had no problem picking out hers.
Okay.
My son, who's going into 4th grade, it was a battle to figure out what he wanted to wear. He wanted to go in the summer look, the flip-flops, the
Yeah.
gym shorts, and a T-shirt. I said, you got to spice it up a little bit, my man, on the first day of school. And the other thing, too, we had to finish our summer work projects. You know, we've only had, what, 67
do
days
you
to
have like the packets of
math packets
schoolwork?
and all
Yeah.
that. We've only had, what, 67 days to complete those? Plus an
Last
added
minute
week because of
writing
the delay
everything
because of the
down.
hurricane. Still didn't, you know, we're still working on those last night, so takes after his father.
I was going to say, it sounds like me.
All right, so
Procrastination.
excited about back to school, and moving on to this, new study suggests that the caffeine pick-me-up that you get from your morning cup of coffee may be all in your head. British researchers found that self-described coffee addicts who were unknowingly giving decaf performed better in reaction time tests than those who were given caffeinated coffee. And all 88 volunteers who took part in the study reported that their mood and performance improved after having their cup of joe. I know a lot of people, especially on our shift, you know, we're here at before the crack of dawn, you know,
Yeah.
relying on that coffee. I haven't had a caffeinated drink in almost 5 years, just because
That's saying a lot.
anything,
I don't think I
soda,
could do
coffee. I just don't like the way it makes me feel. Actually, I had it once, then I went to work out, and I felt like my heart was going to come
that. Yeah,
through
do
my
you
rib
get
cage.
the, shaky after you?
So I said, "The heck
after
with
you
this.
drink it?
I don't need the caffeine," and I haven't had it. Now, I would think that might be true. But then there's those caffeinated drinks. What are they like? The Nas and the
the Red Bull and the Monster and
right.
all those.
You do. We know you're a big workout buff. Do you
I-
crush those energy drinks
No.
before you get workout?
No, water.
No, water.
Water.
So you're not buying
Maybe
it.
some
Are you
beer.
buying it? Maybe that the caffeine fix might be mental.
I don't know, because I feel like there are definitely some times where I've had, coffee and I've felt it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's all in my head too, but I don't know. I thought, what is the caffeine doing then if it's not giving you a little pick-me-up?
Well,
Be interesting
we'll have
to
to
know.
check in with those British researchers. This is an interesting story. Providence moves up several spots on an interesting list, America's manliest cities. Rhode Island's capital ranks 27th out of 50 in the annual list released this week by Combos. That's up from 33rd last year. We're getting tougher. The ranking takes into account criteria such as the number of home improvement stores, sports bars, motorcycles, pickup trucks, and sports teams, and deducts for points for things like cupcake shops, sushi restaurants, and modern male apparel stores. Nashville topped the list, while Los Angeles came in last.
We do have a lot of cupcake places and other girly things, but I don't know. Have you done anything to boost that manly city vibe?
I don't think they're looking at guys like me approaching
No?
40 to find out if we're more manly or not. Although I try to hold up my end of the bargain. It's interesting though because Nashville is kind of that cowboy town.
Yeah,
people,
rough and tough, kinda.
Save a horse, ride a cowboy. People
Very
are riding their cowboys to work. Changing horseshoes on their horses.
Yeah.
Doing that. They're lassoing them.
Lassoing
Yeah.
whatever and going to the saloon and
Yeah, the saloon
slugging
instead of the salon.
What are they?
An adult
slugging?
beverage or a Jack Daniels. But out in Los Angeles, it's more like, who's got the nicest tan, who's had more Botox, who goes to the health club, who goes to the sushi bar. So we
Yeah.
fall right in
What
the middle
beach
there.
are you going to today?
Yeah, interesting. So, right in the middle of the manliest.
I like that. Right in the middle.
You do? Okay.
Yes.
Interesting. Courtney, your thoughts on Providence being the 27th manliest city
I
in the
just love how
country?
we place anywhere. Isn't that interesting? Because we're so
Yes.
small as a
Yeah.
state and a city. I mean, Providence is on the map, which is pretty cool. But I'm here in the New England Tech Center. Bunch of us are live blogging on foxprovidence.com. And I don't know if you missed it, but last night our Rhode Show special, the Rhode Show Throws a Wedding, debuted. And if you didn't catch it, we did post the whole thing online. So you can follow one lucky couple as they plan all of the details of their dream wedding with the help, of course, from the Rhode Show, from the engagement ring to the cake and food, and finally, the I-dos. And if you're planning a wedding of your own, we've actually created special page full of information about all of the vendors that you'll see in that special, and from Wedding Week we had back in April on the Rhode Show. So also on that page on foxprovidence.com, you'll see it right now, you can check out a music video made by the happy couple, Juliana and Ryan. It's a catchy tune called Juliana, and it's definitely worth watching if you have a minute. And you can also flip through a photo gallery, you'll see that right here, of Juliana and Ryan's engagement session and some pictures from their wedding. So for the link to the Rhode Show special, you can visit the live blog, or I'll post that on our Facebook page right now. You can visit there too. But for now, we're going to head into the kitchen with Patrick. What are we cooking today?
Well, this is Nelson Barbosa. He's from Spumoni's, and he has some chicken marsala that he brought in this morning. One of the favorites over there at Spumoni's, I imagine.
Yes.
What do you got? How do you guys put it together over there?
We have chicken breast, 4-ounce breast. We have some flour, which we're going to dredge in. We have some mushrooms, kosher salt, some black pepper, parsley, unsalted butter, marsala, chicken stock, beef stock, and some olive oil.
And what kind of, so you say the chicken stock, beef stock, marsala. Okay, so that's, marsala is exactly what? Explain to us what marsala is, because sometimes you order this and you wonder, what is the marsala?
It's a sweet wine.
Okay.
Mostly for cooking. I mean, you can also drink it, I guess, if you'd like. But I prefer.
You don't suggest it, do you, Nelson?
No, I do not suggest it. But it's made for cooking.
Yeah.
It's very sweet, and it gives you that little sweet, tangy taste.
Yeah, okay.
That's what I think of marsala wine.
Right, okay.
You know?
Used for your chicken. You don't
Chicken,
necessarily
veal
with your
also.
chicken. Right, yeah, yeah.
Yes.
What's going on at Spumoni's these days?
Been really.
Renovations, right?
Yeah, we've been busy. Keeping busy and stuff.
Yeah. They redid the whole bar area, right?
Yeah, we have a brand new bar. Looks really nice.
Right there at the end of Newport Avenue in Pawtucket? Yeah, you're in Pawtucket, right by the Highway 95.
On the border, yeah.
On the border there. All right, cool. Nelson from Spumoni's here this morning. We got chicken marsala ready to put this together in our next segment. We'll try it at the end of the hour, and you can find the recipe online, as always, at foxprovidence.com.
From runway to REALWAY, fall can mean a lot of things. Leaf changing colors, switching back to hot coffee, but for many of us, it means just one thing, and that's fashion, especially when it comes to shoes. And over the weekend, Rockport showed off their latest styles at Style Week Providence during Jonathan Joseph Peters' Runway show. You can see them there. And this morning, Trisha from Rockport joins us to talk about the hottest fall shoe trends. Good morning, Trisha.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you? All right, you've got plenty here on the
Yes.
table, as you can see, but before we get to the trends, I want to talk about this great event. It's happening Thursday night. It's called Fashion's Night Out, and you've worked in conjunction with RISD and also Dylan's Candy Bar in New York. Tell us about this.
So yeah, Rockport wanted to do a pairing with a fabulous fashion-minded company like Dylan's Candy Bar in New York, and we really wanted to bring in then some local flair and talent with RISD. And what we're doing is with the students, they each get to design a shoe, either a man shoe or a woman shoe, and they got all of Dylan's Candy Bar candy to supply the design. And the winning student, so we go there and judge, the winning student gets a stipend from Rockport, a year's supply of shoes from Rockport, and then a candy of the month from Dylan's Candy Bar.
Okay, those almost look good enough to eat there. I don't know, you wear them and then you get hungry.
Exactly.
Grab them off your feet. All right, now it's time to talk about trends.
Yes.
And your first trend is New English.
Correct.
So tell us about that
So
trend.
really right now it's all about broguing detail, anything that is a little bit more man-tailored, vintagey, and you can see with this woman's shoe a little perf detail, the broguing detail on the boot, this boiled wool and leather
I like that combination.
And again with a men's classic shoe with the beautiful broguing detail. And with this pump, I just wanted to also show that even it fits into this New English, very tailored look. Certain footbeds for Fashion's Night Out will have the Dylan's Candy Bar logo right in the footbed.
Very fun.
And it is a very fun way to celebrate Fashion's Night Out.
All right, our next trend is American vintage.
Correct.
And again, Rockport does have men's and women's shoes, which I think is fabulous.
Yes,
So
yes.
American vintage, what do we have?
And distressed, ruggedy leathers, these beautiful leathers that all have this natural, almost naked feel to them that wear in. They look better over time.
Yeah.
It's all about this very,
black, too.
yeah, and Rockport, we're an American company. We, you know, our roots are here. So this classic, vintagey, American look with these beautiful, beautiful leathers.
All right, and lastly, I know what you're thinking. It's too warm for Nordic trend, but hey, it's New England, so one day you can be in a bathing suit, the next it's snowing 5 feet. So what do we got?
So Nordic, it's shearling, all this beautiful shearling detail. And for women right now, you see this with a skirt, you see this with capris. It's not necessarily just for, you know, the bad elements, but it's really a fashion statement. So this cute little Nordic shearling boot, and in the men's side, a little bit more utilitarian where it has some thinsulate, some weatherproofing details on it. So really just a combination of style and fashion.
Excellent. I think you've got us covered, every trend here. Tricia, thank you so much for joining us this morning. And to learn more about these styles or about Fashion's Night Out, head to foxprovidence.com. And we want to get a look on the weather. It's kind of fall out there. Is that right, Michelle?
Yeah, needing your galoshes this morning with the rain that's been moving across southeastern New England. Let's head and take a look at the conditions from CityCam from this morning. Gray skies, it's cool, it's dreary, it's damp. And unfortunately, this kind of weather now replacing the warm, the humid conditions that we had through the holiday weekend. And it's going to stay like this for a few days here as we head into this shortened work week. In fact, we'll widen out, show you the satellite and radar. We've got rain stretching all the way back across New York and Pennsylvania, down into the mid-Atlantic. And all of that has to work its way slowly to the east. It's happening along a front that has moved through our area. It's brought gusty winds, enough of a wind gust to knock out power in some communities. Scattered, nothing like what we had last weekend, but the front continuing to move slowly to the south, and then it gets hung up off the coast close enough to us that it keeps the showers around for a couple of days. So your futurecast for this afternoon, we're running 15, almost 20 degrees cooler than yesterday, with temperatures only in the middle 60s at 3 o'clock, and at 5 this evening we're still at about 65 degrees. I'll let you know when the weather gets back on track with sunshine and warmer temperatures coming up a little later in the show.
All right, thanks, Michelle. Have you ever wanted to go on a trip to Africa, but you didn't want to leave the country? Well, it's hard to do, but now you have your chance, because Capron Park Zoo hosting a fundraiser, Passport to Africa, and joining us this morning to tell us all about it is David Spencener from Friends of Capron Park Zoo, and Obawama Adi, correct, right?
Correct.
All right, and from AS220's Crisscross Orchestra. We'll get to you in a second, but I want to start with you and tell us about this event.
Sure. So the Friends of Capron Park Zoo started in the early 80s, and we're an organization that is trying to assist the zoo with education and conservatism, and conservancy. So helping the animals, helping the people around in Attleboro learn about the animals.
So that was my next question. For the folks that aren't familiar with your zoo, where is it?
So it's near downtown Attleboro on County Street.
Okay, what can people expect to see at this Passport to Africa event?
Yeah, so we're very excited about this. We're going to have African food, African music with the Crisscross Orchestra. We're going to have African artwork with Munir Muhammad. We're going to have a silent auction, all kinds of great African activities.
All right, so Obawama is going to be playing there at this event. Tell us about how you got involved in the orchestra and in this event.
I was contacted by Debbie and told me about this program, and I was very, very happy to be part of it. I think I'm blessed to be part of this program because I think our animals deserve some kind of celebration.
How long have you been in America?
I've been in America about 20-some years. I don't give you all. I've been here from the 80s.
So you're in your 20s, right? You're in your 20s? How old are you, 23, 24?
Well, double that by 2, and you get it. Anyway, I was based in D.C. area for the past 20-some years. Just moved down here about 6 years ago, and I really love this place, and I want to be part of the community, and whatever the community is trying to offer to people, I will love to.
All right, before you go, I want to hear a little preview of what you're going to play.
Yes.
thank you so much for coming in this morning.
You're welcome.
Sweet sound of that drum. All right, that event next weekend, right? And for more information, just check out our website, foxprovidence.com.
All right, still to come this morning on The Rhode Show, we're back in the kitchen with Smimoni's making a delicious chicken marsala. You can find today's recipe online now at foxprovidence.com. Plus, a controversial children's book hasn't even hit the shelves yet, and already some parents are trying to ban it. We'll talk about it next in The Buzz. You're watching The Rhode Show on Fox Providence. We're back in just 90 seconds.
Welcome back to The Rhode Show. This morning in The Buzz, it's a subject we talk about a lot, promoting a positive self-image for our children. Michelle joining us this morning to discuss this topic, but a new children's book about dieting has many parents outraged, and it all starts with the title, Maggie Goes on a Diet. The book description tells the story of how a bullied girl is transformed through time, exercise, and hard work into a popular, confident, and average-size soccer star. The inside pages of the book have illustrations of the girl hunched over the fridge with her hands full of food, while the paragraphs next to the pictures rhyme. The book is recommended for children ages 4 to 8. The book isn't due out until next month, but already there's a Say No to Maggie Goes on a Diet Facebook page that calls for bookstores to boycott the publication. Okay, let the debate begin. I guess we'll start with Michelle. What do you think about the premise of this book?
I don't have an issue with people promoting eating right, exercising, being at a healthy weight. My issue with it is that ages 4 to 8 for this, really? I mean, that's pretty young. My second issue is that when she does all of this stuff, she magically becomes popular and a sports star and gets asked to go to a sleepover. I mean, I just don't think you necessarily need to combine the two. I mean, I think kids get bullied at all ages, all weights, and all statuses. And so, I mean, I just don't say you're going to lose weight and all of a sudden life's going to get so much better for you.
Right.
I completely agree with that. And in terms of having it on the shelves, I don't feel like it needs to be pulled. The title, I feel, is definitely the most inappropriate. You know, Maggie goes on a diet, not Maggie, you know, gets healthy, something something a bit more positive rather than, you know, so strictly Maggie goes on a diet. But childhood obesity is a huge issue, so I understand why an author would want to maybe help kids realize that, you know, oh, you know, Maggie is eating, you know, carrots today instead of potato chips. That's nice, you know, or exercising, because the book is taking place over months, and she's exercising and eating right. So it's not just, you know, one day to the next, and she's, you know, starving herself.
I will say this, that it's bad that it just says Maggie, that it's just focused on girls. First of all, that's a problem with it.
Right.
There is a problem with childhood obesity in this country, and I see it a lot, and because I have kids that are at the age, I have a 9-year-old and a 6-year-old, and you know, we don't have our kids on any super hip diet plan. I mean, we give them healthy food and all that stuff, but I'll tell you, it's amazing how many kids are overweight. And do you think it's something kids should be concerned with, and their parents? I do.
I don't think kids need to. I don't think kids age 4 to 8 need to be concerned about it. I think the parents of kids 4 to 8 need to be concerned about it. So the fact that you're reading to a 4-year-old that they should choose chips over carrots, well, they shouldn't even be having that choice. It should be the parents who are choosing carrots over chips for their children.
Having healthier foods in their house.
If you were to gear this to a preteen, then I would say okay, but you don't have rhyming picture books for a preteen. Is Casey even still reading rhyming books, or is she past that age?
No, she's now reading Danielle Steele.
I figured, because she is so advanced. No, but I mean, you have a daughter. I can't. I've got 2 boys, and I think if the challenges of raising a daughter to be self-confident and have a healthy self-image, I can't even imagine the challenge of that.
Yeah, it's tough.
Especially now, and I feel like the word diet, it's just it has a bad connotation that goes along with it. You know, once people hear the word diet, they're thinking extreme dieting and things, rather than your diet as a whole, your overall diet, what you're eating, what you're taking in. It should be something more, you know, getting healthy, a lifestyle choice, something like that. Maggie goes on a diet. I don't agree with the title.
Real quick, though, it's more pressure on women than it is for men at that young age. I mean, would you agree?
Yeah. Well, here's the problem, too, with Amazon.
Girls, I shouldn't even say that. Not even women yet.
Anybody can publish a book now on Amazon. So here's this guy who has a son, by the way, doesn't even have a daughter, publishes this book for girls, and now all of a sudden it's gotten all this like negative national attention. So, gotta be careful.
The other thing too is it's getting attention, you know, and that's another thing too. So people, maybe he's trying to do this on purpose, and the curiosity factor for people that are complaining about it like us will wonder what it's really about and go read it. So who knows? But it's another controversial topic that's never going to go away for kids and families forever. So let's send it over to Courtney now, and.
Courtney has a little girl.
She's a little young to be worried about diets and all that stuff, but we're trying to bulk our kids up right at this age.
I know, it's interesting. My daughter just turned 1, and the doctor says just let her eat until she's full, and she'll eat for a long time. For a little baby, I mean, hey, we can't control it at this point because she isn't in that dangerous age. But we have lots of comments from parents, actually, on Facebook and on the live blog. So let's start on Fox Providence. This first one's from Joe, and he said, I really don't see anything wrong with the book or the message it sends to children. We see a lot worse on TV about children and obesity. Keurig fan says, so disturbed by this, I don't know where to begin to express my feelings. Yet again, more to worry about. So here's the poll today. What do you think of the book, Maggie Goes on a Diet? A, it sends a harmful message to girls. B, the book tackles an important issue. Or C, it tries to do right thing in wrong way. And I've also posted a really long story here. You can actually hear more from the authors themselves on Fox Providence if you want to read that. Here's a look at our Facebook page. Sarah says, it's up to the consumer. This whole parent outrage over stuff like this is nuts. Where are they on the important issues? Joel said, it's a real issue affecting our youth, so we should address it, but we shouldn't push dieting. We should promote working out and eating healthy. And then Amanda just posted, a book like this should focus on loving your body rather than dieting as a main focus. So lots of comments from people this morning. I'm sure they'll be pouring in over the next half hour, so you can read them with us to the end of the show. We're going to go back into the kitchen now with Patrick, and what's up now?
Nelson Barbosa from Spumoni's here with us on the Rhode Show this morning. We're doing a Chicken Marsala dish. Now, we usually, for this, you take a mallet and pound the chicken, right?
Pound the chicken, yes.
Right, but the mallet is missing here in the kitchen. I actually took it home for the Labor Day weekend to make food at home, and they didn't know that until I just said it on live TV. So my apologies that you don't have your mallet. So what are you going to do instead?
It's already pounded.
Okay.
We're going to put some olive oil in the bottom of the pan.
All right.
Get that a little hot, and then we're going to flour out chicken breast.
4 ounces, right?
4 ounces.
Yeah.
Put in a saute pan.
Okay.
Which you need about a pound and a half, but it'll feed a family of 4.
A pound and a half of chicken?
Yeah, about a pound and a half for a party, a party of 4.
Now, when do you add the marsala?
Cook the chicken for 5 minutes on each side.
Okay.
When it's golden brown, and then you add your butter, which I have here.
Yeah.
And then your marsala.
Okay.
And then you add the rest of the ingredients, let it simmer off a little bit. And that should be it.
So you add the mushrooms and the salt and pepper and all that stuff after the...
Yes.
Because
this takes a little longer and the mushrooms cook really fast.
Okay.
So mushrooms and the marsala, spice at the end is perfect.
Now, would you use the same ingredients if you're doing like a veal marsala?
Yes. Instead, yes, you would, except you would use, obviously, veal.
Same size?
Same
you
size.
recommend the same size, about 4 ounce pieces?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice, good size. You don't have to pound the veal cutlet, because usually it comes already nice and tender.
Okay, all right. All right, so I got to go get that mallet at my house, Nelson. I apologize for not having the proper equipment for you in here this morning. You can find the recipe and the ingredients online, as always, on our website, foxprovidence.com.
And coming up on the Rhode Show, online courses are becoming more common, but are they effective? Our expert will talk about it next. Plus, now that it's back to school, tips from our parenting experts on how to become involved in your child's education. Stay with us.
You're watching The Rhode Show on Fox Providence.
Today in higher learning, when it comes to online learning, the general public is still concerned about the quality of programs in cyberspace, despite university leaders' optimism. That was the key finding in a study just released by the Pew Research Center and the Chronicle of Higher Education. Here to talk about the findings and what they mean for the future of education is Peter Kerwin from the Rhode Island Higher Education Assistance Authority. Good morning, Peter.
Good morning, Michaela.
All right, so why the different views on online learning?
Well, I think the college presidents kind of want to be seen as being ahead of the curve on this stuff, so they're going to be very enthusiastic, very supportive of online learning. And let's face it, it also has the added benefit of helping their bottom line.
Right.
I mean, the issue is that they're looking to save money, cut costs, so they look at online learning as a way, where they can, it's less expensive, it's more cost efficient than building brick and mortar classrooms and employing people to work in those places. So it's a real benefit for them.
Now, I know a lot of people might be a little skeptical about online learning, but why is that?
Well, if you look at the findings, 89% of the public four-year college presidents and 91% of the two-year public college presidents said they offer online learning. But if you go to the private institutions, the private colleges and universities, only 60% of them offer online classes. Okay. So that seems to say to me that the folks who are really driving this are the public colleges and universities, because they're facing budget cuts, and they're looking at this as a way, we've got to do something to continue to offer effective programs to students and make college accessible and affordable. Online learning's the way to go for them. The problem becomes when you expand the survey numbers out and you talk to people in the general public, only 29% of the people in the general public interviewed thought that online learning classes were as valuable as the traditional classroom classes, compared to 51% of the college presidents who said, oh yeah, they have equal value. Yeah. So that's the real problem. I mean, the proponents of online learning still have a lot to do in terms of convincing people that their product is viable.
Now, I know between, having online classes and classes that are actually in the classroom, people tend to go back and forth, but with the future, I mean, online classes are pretty much here to stay. Is that right? You can't deny that.
No, you're right, exactly. And I think what you're going to see happening is there's going to be a lot more of a mix of those kind of programs. Even on the traditional college campus, you're going to see a lot more online courses offered even there. Because the idea is that as the cost of college goes up, students are having to do a lot more off-campus jobs, get jobs to help finance that. The way to help their schedule is to give them more online options so they can do their coursework online, as opposed
they can.
Exactly.
Yeah, finding their own time.
Giving them that flexibility is going to help schools really make it possible for them to take on jobs.
All right. Well, Peter, all helpful information as always. Thanks for coming in. For more on From College Bound Fun, head to foxprovidence.com.
Today in the modern parent, school time is upon us, and now is a great time to get involved in your child's education. The Children's Workshop explains how even the busiest of parents can do so.
One benefit of getting involved with your child's education is that it establishes a better relationship between you and the teacher. Plus, your child will do better academically.
We know now that children whose parents or guardians who are involved in their education consistently and on a regular basis will be more successful in school throughout their entire grade school years as well as into college. That's just a known fact.
A great way to get involved is by starting a regimen outside of the classroom.
So one of the things that you can do is at home make sure that there's a space for homework. So not only are you supervising homework every night and are you involved in it, but your child has adequate space for homework.
Following a home schedule will help your child succeed academically all year long. According to Heather, children need predictability.
They need to go to bed at the same time every night. They need to know when they're going to have dinner, when they're going to take a bath. Do I have karate tonight? Do I have dance class tonight? They need to follow a schedule.
As far as school goes, checking in with your child's teacher is one way of being involved. But also, ask the teacher questions.
You're not going to be a pest if you let your child's teacher know, your child's favorite things, some of the concerns you may have. You know your child best, so make sure that that teacher is also privy to that information.
You can also volunteer your time at your child's school in the classroom by helping the teacher out or doing some community service with the kids.
Even if you're, a busy doctor or a firefighter or a policeman or a policewoman, bring your profession to school and share it with the kids. That's a really excellent way to become involved.
And if you can't be as vested physically in your child's education, teachers will appreciate any form of communication.
It might be helpful to have a little journal or a log that you send back and forth with the teacher. Maybe you just write a note to each other once a week. That's a great way to become involved with your child's education.
And as children get older, holding them responsible for keeping the schedule you create in a planner is a great way to stay involved with their education. Patrick?
All right, still ahead this morning on the Rhode Show. Summer's not over yet. There's still some time to enjoy some cocktails by the barbecue with your friends and family. Next, our mixologist shows us some unique recipes. And later, back in the kitchen with Spumoni's making some chicken marsala. You can find the recipe right now on foxprovidence.com. You're watching the Rhode Show on Fox Providence. We'll be right back.
Today in House Talk, we all know the housing market is tough, but what can people realistically do if they're trying to sell their home? Joining us this morning with some helpful tips is Steve Antoni, who's president of the Rhode Island Association of Realtors. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. How are you? So, hey, it's a tough housing market out there. You must have some tips for us, for sellers who want to sell their home, right now.
Well, I'll agree it's very competitive right now, but if you position yourself properly in the market, your house will sell. So far this year, we've sold about 5,000 properties. So the market is moving, but it's more than just putting a sign on the lawn and, hanging some balloons off of it and saying, come on out and buy my house. You really have to have a plan. You really need to sit with a realtor and find out how much money you need to get for this house, how much you're going to need for the next house, what your timelines are when you have to sell by, if school coming up for children is an option. And in evaluating that, you may find out that your best option may be to rent this house out if you have to move, or maybe not sell at all in this market.
So lots of things to consider beforehand, homework for sellers for sure. So if they want to move forward, what do you think how they can increase their chances for maybe a quick and successful sale?
Well, the first thing, sure. The first thing you need to do is enlist yourselves with a good agent, with a great agent, actually. You can go to riliving.com. And there's a complete list of all the agents in the state that can help you, to do that. Get your house on the market, get it sold, get the highest price for it. But you really need to interview people as well. I mean, talk to 2 or 3 different realtors. Even if, for example, your cousin is a realtor or your brother is a realtor, they may not be the best person for you. So have them do a market analysis and form a plan with them. In fact, let them tell you when the best price is, when, the best time is to sell it. And don't just go with the one who tells you he can get you the most money, because pricing properly in this market is the key to selling your homes.
That is a good thing to remember for sure, especially now. Thanks so much, Steve. And for more tips on today's housing market, you guys can check out foxprovidence.com.
All right, so Labor Day is over, but summer isn't over yet. It's actually the perfect time to enjoy some seasonal drinks by the barbecue with your friends and family. And joining us on the show is mixologist, the cocktail guru, if you will, Jonathan Pogash. Good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning. Thank you, Michaela.
All right, you have some fabulous drink recipes that you're going to share. The first one is called a basil peach smash.
Yes, this is really lovely. Great end of summer ingredients, kind of transitioning into the fall, although we may not really want it to be fall yet.
Not
yet. We have to kind of take it as it comes. So I have I have about 1/4 of a ripe peach here. I've got some fresh basil leaves in the glass.
Okay.
Some fresh basil leaves that I took from my garden. I put approximately 1/2 ounce of freshly squeezed lemon juice in there already.
Okay.
Now
you're adding something interesting.
Some maple syrup.
All right.
I love using maple syrup as a sweetener in cocktails.
I like using it on my pancakes in the morning, so this is a new twist.
So it's kind of, bringing the fall flavor into this drink. So I'm muddling here.
We're muddling it.
Yep.
If we can get a
and
good
muddling is
view on
the
that.
process of just mashing all of the ingredients together, extracting some of that basil flavor.
All right, what goes in next?
So rum. This is a rum from the Dominican Republic, Brugal rum.
Okay.
It's an añejo. It's aged. It's lovely. It's floral. It's lightly oaked.
We're going to mix that
Love it in this cocktail, yep. And I'm
And-
going to shake it up here.
Okay.
I have my mixing glass. I'm going to give it a little shake.
There it is.
There we go. Nice hard shake.
He's got a whole rhythm going when he shakes it. I like it.
Thank you. Thank you. It's a little samba.
Pour it in.
Reminiscent. I think about the African drums.
There you go. Pour it in a fancy
mixing
glass
this. So I poured in
here.
this fancy glass. I have a little peach slice garnish. To top it off, some ginger beer.
Ginger beer. All right.
Adds a little
Simple
fizz.
enough. We're going to move on here.
Yes.
Our next one is called a Dutch swizzle, which kind of sounds like a funky rapper's name. But what is a Dutch swizzle?
It kind of does. So Dutch swizzle. So I have the star of this is the Van Gogh vodka from Holland.
I'm trying
It's
this
called
other one while you talk about
Van
it. Go
Gogh
ahead.
Blue. I've already shaken it up here with a little bit of Marie Brizard apricot liqueur. This is from France. They make delicious liqueurs. I added some almond syrup, which you can find in most
Almond
stores.
syrup.
It's the kind of stuff you put in your coffee
There you go.
to make
Oh,
almond
nice.
coffee. And some pineapple juice. And as a garnish, I have some lemon balm from my personal garden.
And you said similar to mint, right?
Similar. It's in the mint family. See, I'm just kind of extracting the flavor there and
Okay.
a nice little garnish.
Give that one a whirl. First one was excellent. All right, third drink.
Yes. So,
explain this to us. A little twist on iced tea.
Yes, this is a pitcher drink, so perfect for your end of summer parties for as a communal cocktail.
I like the Dutch swizzle, by the way.
Thank you. This is a variation on the classic Italian drink, a Negroni.
Okay.
The star of the Negroni is Campari. This is an Italian bitter liqueur.
All right.
Interesting color there, great flavor.
Yeah,
and
let's
I've
try
mixed
some
it,
of this one. I love iced tea.
I've mixed it with sweet vermouth, gin, and sweetened mint tea from Bigelow Tea. These are American-made teas.
Okay.
And it's a boozy drink. That's what I kind of consider it.
A boozy drink. It is a boozy drink.
It's a boozy drink.
Everything was delicious, though. Nice, fresh, still summer flavor.
Exactly.
Getting into that transition of fall. Jonathan, we want to thank you so much for coming in.
There's the Newport Wine and Food Festival, the Newport Mansions Wine and Food Festival. Also, I almost forgot to come join us at Brugal. We'll be having a table there.
Try some of these drinks.
Yep.
All right. For all the recipes, you can, of course, head to foxprovidence.com.
That's always a fun time, Newport Wine and Food Festival. This should be fun, too. Nelson from Spumoni's finishing up his Chicken Marsala. Stay tuned. We're going to finish it and try it next. All right, back in the kitchen this morning with Nelson Barboza from Spumoni's there in Pawtucket. And we have a Chicken Marsala dish that he's doing. I actually prepared the bread, which was very hard.
It is.
I didn't even do anything. I'm lying about that, too. But I'm going to hold on to this and munch on this while you finish up the Marsala, the Chicken Marsala. What have you done so far?
So far, we've put olive oil in a saute pan.
Okay.
We burned our chicken breast.
Yeah.
We have 4-ounce breasts. We let it get golden on both sides for 5 minutes each. Now we're going to add our mushrooms.
And you add the mushrooms later because they don't take as long to cook.
No, they don't take as long to cook. So, but since it's almost halfway, the mushrooms. We're going to add some kosher salt, some black pepper, a little bit of parsley, and 2 tablespoons of margarine, actually unsalted butter.
Unsalted butter?
Yes.
Okay.
You can use salted also.
But you already put enough salt in the thing, right? So.
Yeah. We're going to deglaze it pretty soon, get it a little cooked up here, and then we're going to add the wine. Put a heart here.
Now, when you this is 4-ounce breasts. Is this what the serving is at Spumoni's, or is this what you're just cooking up, right?
This
when
you
order the Chicken Marsala at...
It's for individual person.
Okay, and how many do you get? One?
We give them 4 3-ounce pieces.
Really? Okay, well, that's a healthy serving.
Yeah. This is a bigger portion, but it's for a family if you have 4 people.
Okay.
This will feature. Now we're going to add a Marsala wine.
All right, so everything's cooked, is that, and then you add the Marsala wine?
Yeah.
And how much of that?
A good
I know you
1/4 cup.
Do it by feel, like you don't measure anything anymore. You just start pouring stuff into the pan.
About 1/4 of a cup.
Okay.
We're going to let it simmer here.
Now all the alcohol will burn off.
Yes.
Right, and so.
And then we're going to add our chicken stock.
It's a dish for all ages.
And then we have some beef stock also.
Beef stock, okay.
Basically 1/2 cup, both ingredients together.
Now, why that? Is that makes it gives it a darker?
Yeah, gravy feel to it.
Gravy feel, okay.
Yeah. Now we're gonna let it simmer, and then we're gonna add a little flour to thicken it up.
Flour after, okay.
Yes, a little bit of sprinkled flour, almost like a roux.
Right, and
that'll flour. Yeah, it'll thicken up, and then you serve it over the dish with some bread and some wine.
Now you brought in a bottle of wine here, and you, Nelson, you're a wine connoisseur. So you suggested this fine Oyster Bay wine. It's
Sauvignon Blanc.
Sauvignon Blanc, Oyster Bay. There you go. So try that when you have your Chicken Marsala. My friend Ray Nero will be very happy. He works for Oyster Bay. He knows that you serve this at Spumoni's. He's very excited about that. Cheers, Ray. All right, there's the Oyster Bay. Rhymes with Ray. And you have, the final product. Yeah, that's right. You want to grab that because you have the necessary equipment on your hands to pull hot things out of stoves or ovens. That's an oven, that's a stove. All right, let's take a look. With bread, Oyster Bay wine. I got to get some utensils here. When's Spumoni's open?
Opens at 11:30 and it closes about 9:30 on the weekend. Close about 11. Well, we open every day for 11:30.
Every day you're open?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Very, very good, Nelson. Thank you so much for coming in this morning. Good to see you again.
Always a
Second
pleasure.
trip to the Road Show. Hopefully you're back for more.
And this Friday we'll be at the Art Festival in Pawtucket.
Pawtucket? Oh, you will?
Yep, for the gala.
Oh, that's a big event, Pawtucket, yeah.
Yes.
When will you be there? When are you going to be there?
6 to 8 on Friday night.
Nice. All right.
Should be a good time. Come and visit us.
Come see Nelson and the folks from Spumoni's at the Pawtucket Arts Festival.
Yes.
This Friday night. All right. This is good. It's really good. It's a nice day, Michelle, to sit inside and eat. Although any day's nice for that as far as I'm concerned, but today, not a very nice day.
It's a good comfort food kind of day, isn't it? Live City Cam, we were gray, dreary, and damp this morning, continuing with seeing the showers and rain drizzle off and on throughout the daytime today. In fact, back edge of the rain all the way back still across central Pennsylvania. It's fairly spotty, so it's not an all-day downpour, but off and on rain can be expected into the afternoon with temperatures in the middle 60s, much cooler than what we had yesterday when we were in the low and mid 80s. All right, futurecast at 3 o'clock. Notice what happens in the second half of the day. The rain just fills back in, so it's likely to be a wet evening commute as well. And heading off to bed, still hearing the patter of raindrops on the rooftops across our area. And tomorrow morning, starting off damp with more rain on the way. It's scattered about for Wednesday, but the cloudy skies do remain. So the south coast for today, we have seen temperatures go from the lower 70s to the low 60s, and I think we'll find ourselves somewhere in between that for this afternoon. So about 66 in Newport, 65 in Westerly, 66 Hope Valley, while northern Rhode Island, the temperatures will be coming in the middle 60s for Burrville and Foster Center, only about 64 in Cumberland, just damp, chilly. Some gusty winds this morning, but they should die down a bit in the afternoon. Rain and drizzle, much cooler from Middletown at 66, Little Compton at about 67 degrees. All right, Hurricane Katia, a Category 3 hurricane as of this morning with 127 mile an hour sustained winds, gusts to 155. A lot of folks have been asking me about what is this storm going to do. Well, our computer models in agreement here this morning, taking this storm out over the ocean, so staying about 250 miles or so away from the Cape and Nantucket. It's a far enough track away that on this point not seeing any clouds or showers, rain or wind from this storm, but it's close enough to give us some rough surf and that risk of rip currents. And that's actually going to start tomorrow, and it's going to last into the end of the work week at least. So tomorrow's not a great beach day, 68, 70 on Thursday. It's slow improvements through the day Thursday. Friday is the day you'll want to watch for rip currents if you're headed down to the beaches. The weather gets back on track with some sunshine and 79, and I have us in the mid and upper 70s for the upcoming weekend. Back to you.
All right, still ahead on the Road Show. We're going to check back in with your web poll results. Stick around, they're really interesting today. We'll be right back. It's time now to check back in with today's web poll results.
So we were talking about this book earlier in the buzz. It's a rhyming picture book for, what is it, girls 4 to 8 maybe?
4 to 8.
Featuring an obese, unhappy teen girl, and parents are outraged about this publication of it. So we asked everyone, what do you think of the book, Maggie Goes on a Diet? 77% of you said the book tackles an important issue, and then there's a tie of 11% between it sends a harmful message to girls and it tries to do the right thing in the wrong way. I'm actually surprised by these results, but you never know.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens, if it's going to be pulled from stores or not. Back to you.
All right, thank you, ladies. Coming up tomorrow on the Road Show, we're in the kitchen with a meal to fuel your fun, prepare you for the CVS Caremark Downtown 5K with a race-ready dinner. Plus, as your kids all head back to school this week, finally, we're taking a look at your first day of school pictures. There's still some time to send them to us, so email us now at theroadshow@foxprovidence.com. Thanks for joining us here on the Road Show on Fox Providence.
For more information on anything you've seen on our show, just head to our website, foxprovidence.com.
We'll see you back here tomorrow morning. Have a great day.